Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in this world. This is Hedging Lee with a morning update for Bitcoin. All right, what is going on? We got a new lower low. All right, no biggie. We had thought that maybe there would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A, B, C, since this was a slightly lower low. But they said, no, we're going to do something else. We made even a lower low than that. I'm going to say, well, I'm going to call that low and give it even a lower low slightly. And it's just a rearrangement process. By the way, when I put these stacked, the target is not where the lowest C is. Target is where the highest number is. So it will be right here and not down here. There was a bit of a confusion on that with somebody. 3 will go here. 4 is being worked on, I think. The A is right here. The B, oops, is here. 5 was probably down here for the A. 3, 4. Oops. That 2 belongs here, and that 1 belongs right there, I think. All right. Now, this therefore shows still a zigzag where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And anything that is vertical going to a wave 3 is quite befitting of a wave 3. Okay, so we have A, B, slightly over to the right, A, B, C, for 3 waves for B, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 is almost done, and maybe one more lower low, incremental lower low to around 89.73. That's what I would put for that for Bitcoin. So what has happened? What has changed? Not much at all. Nothing really significant has changed. Now here we can look at the pattern. What kind of a pattern can we discern from here? Very interesting. Just like that Sergeant Schultz from Hogan's Heroes, if you guys are old enough to have been a fan of that show. He used to say always, his line was very interesting. Like that. So if we're going to get a wedge, a downward wedge, that'll be just fantastic way to finish off this correction in the form of a zigzag of a 5, 3, 5. Remember, a triangle does not always have to count to A, B, C, D, E. Just because Elliott Wave says so does not mean that's the way it is. I don't agree with that. Many triangles having the triangle pattern takes on zigzags or flats or just simple A, B, C, D without the E, as you've seen before here, A, B, C, D, breaking out on the D. So I think this downward wedge is very attractive. So if we have a look at the MACD at the 30 minutes, a little bit oversold, it could bounce, touch the top, and come back down. Now let's look at Ethereum. So Bitcoin made a lower low. What did Ethereum do? Huh. Ethereum made a higher low. What's going on? Does Ethereum have the baton again? Maybe. Ethereum reached almost 0.786. And by the way, I forgot. Let's go back to the Bitcoin and the do the Fibonacci. So if we went to one more lower low, we could stab through a little bit of the 0.786 zone. So here, that was already done by Ethereum. So it beat Bitcoin in the downward velocity towards the 0.7, I'm sorry, it stabbed through the 0.618, but didn't reach the 0.786. Almost did, halfway there. It beat Bitcoin in rising, but without giving a lower low. And that's very interesting. That means that this cluster of support is holding pretty well. Now let's look at the pattern of this. Can we also draw a wedgie looking pattern? And it broke out of it. So here's the wedgie looking pattern that Ethereum broke out of, and yet Bitcoin hasn't even finished that pattern yet. It hasn't even broken out of that pattern yet. So I think the time is showing that from a sequential point of view, again, there's a good likelihood that Ethereum has the baton, again, leading ahead of Bitcoin. And that's very interesting. So we are in a phasic stage again with between Ethereum and, I'm sorry, non-phasic stage again with Ethereum, Bitcoin, with Ethereum just a bit ahead. Now, what can we see here on a pattern perspective, or additionally, that can be helpful? I think we have a very nice bull flag right here. And if that's the case, then that bull flag will break upwards, ideally, like this. So that's the Ethereum. Now, if we go back to Bitcoin, if Bitcoin follows Ethereum, then it can, I'd be darned if this too also breaks out, forms a bull flag, and breaks out of that as well. That would be just real tickling. Because you're seeing sequential fractals and pattern fractals between two different coins, and yet one is ahead of the other. And we saw that here where Ethereum broke out first, and then Bitcoin broke out afterwards. So this will be very, very interesting. Are we in a crash scenario? That's what I was pretty much asked. No, I don't think so. I think that crash scenario is well past and gone. I believe the bottom is in. And right now it's just a matter of doing a minor correction before continuing the reversal trend of the upward direction. All right. I hope you found this to be helpful. And And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Have a great day.